Happy Valentine's Day to all the lover birds across the planet. And to you all, my fellow single soldiers out there. I want to address this message. Another year has passed by without love. But keep on fighting. Soon or later, you'll find the light to your darkness. The yin to your yang. The sunshine to your rainy days. The jelly to your peanut butter. One day, soon or later, you will find the one. So keep on fighting. Tatakai! It'll all be worth it. Don't give up. Fight. Fight till the end. It'll all be worth it. Hello there. My name is Catpino, and today I have come up with a love story to tell. But it's a story of younger high school me catching feelings of love for this cute and kind and quirky girl who caught my attention while I was in my senior year of high school. So I was brainstorming for video ideas to put on Valentine's Day, and I was like, hey, I have a few love stories from previous years. I might be single, but I'm allowed to catch feelings, right? So why not tell one of those stories to you guys? Laugh it off and forget. So before we start, rule number 1, I will not say the real name of the girl. Of course not. Rule number 2, if you are the person I'm talking about in the story and you know who you are and you don't want me to share this story publicly, you can DM me on my personal Instagram account, which is right here, and we can discuss it like adults. Rule number 3, we here at Catpino do not criticize nor discredit anyone for rejecting someone else's feelings if both parties don't click together. And now that we have that out of the way, here's my story. The story of how young me wanted to express my feelings to a girl on Valentine's Day. So the story takes place in February 2021. I was in my senior year, I believe, with a new math teacher, of course. And that's where I get to meet, let's call this girl Alexa. Sorry in advance if you have an Amazon assistant nearby. I know that it does that thing sometimes. But well, so me and Alexa shared 2 of our math classes together, which meant that I would get to see her for at least 2 classes of each day. We did share the same table in one of the math classes with 2 other classmates, which she talked to regularly because they seemed to know each other like very well. They talked all the time, so basically I assumed that they were already friends at that point. And me, as the quiet, introverted one of the group, I didn't say much other than hello, hi, hey, how's it going, bye, every single time we met on the table. Those of you who know me personally know what kind of person I am in real life. I don't engage in conversations unless you're interesting enough for me. But eventually, after seeing each other for a few months in the same class, we made small talks on random stuff. And that's when I started to notice more things about Alexa and her friends. But specifically Alexa, because she made me talk almost every time she joined the table. It wasn't always, but it was mostly her who initiated our small talks. And I started to make more eye contact, which is also not easy for me. I find it weird, and it makes me uncomfortable. I would rather look at whatever is behind the person I'm talking to than look in their eyes. That's just how I am. But I started making more eye contact with Alexa every now and then. And I started noticing little things about her. She would have these cute stickers on her water bottles that looked familiar to me. She would have like these BTS stickers, sometimes anime stickers or BTS keychains or whatever. So on occasion, I would ask her about the things she liked, what type of music she listened to, her favorite anime, her favorite movie. And at that point, I realized she's actually a really cool girl, and I wanted to know even more about her. There were days where she wouldn't come to school, sometimes because of sickness, and I would ask the teacher if they saw Alexa why she didn't show up, or on whatever day if she was okay. I would sometimes take keynotes on a couple lessons that she'd missed, just so that she would catch up with the class. She wouldn't fall back too far. I would feel then for the rest of the day whenever she wouldn't be around, like whenever she wasn't around during our classes. It just didn't feel the same. I looked forward to talking to her, like even just to see her once a day, just once a day. We never exchanged contacts or socials because that's also one thing I find very hard to ask from a girl. So I didn't know how to reach her out other than sharing the same class. So basically we just saw each other and that was it. And at this point I started realizing I have a crush on this girl. I like Alexa. And it made me happy inside. Cause I've never really dated until this day. So when I catch feelings, I try making small moves. And in February 2021 is when I decided to make a move. So the evening before Valentine's Day, I went shopping for gifts. I did not want to bring someone with me because I didn't want anyone to find out what I was planning, since everyone around me kind of knew that I've never dated a girl in my life, ever. So I did this on my own. So I went shopping. I got her a scented plushie. If I remember, it was a soft and sweet scented lion plushie. That was about this size. I knew she liked cute and comfy things. The plushie was soft and comfortable to hold and sweet to smell, so I got her that. I also got chocolate. Not a lot because I wasn't sure about her preference on chocolate. So I got her a small red heart-shaped chocolate box. I also remembered that she loved BTS. I want to say it like that because she loved BTS. She is an ARMY stan, so I got her at least 2 BTS rolled posters that had all the band members' portraits on them. I knew she'd love that. And last but not least, I got her flowers. A small bouquet of flowers, like red roses. And that made me super nervous because never in my life I bought flowers for anyone, let alone a girl that I liked. And spoilers, I ended up forgetting about the flowers next day. I still remember that. That's cringe. And I'm not even joking. And probably, you know what? It was probably for the best. So I assembled all these items in a not so obvious Valentine bag. And before going to sleep, I turned on my nightlight, took a piece of paper from my colored notepad, and I made a little note with kind words and how I felt about Alexa. Just want to say that I have never done that, but I just felt like that was the easiest way for the shy, introverted, quiet person that I was to express my feelings for this one girl I was interested in. Do people even do that these days? You and your DMs and your snaps. Call me a boomer if you want, but I still think it's more romantic than cringe. On the next day, it is February 14, 2021. The day where I felt like my heart was going to explode because of how fast my pulse was. I was nervous, but hey, I hide my feelings all the time, so I played it off. Who cares? On that specific morning, I remember getting on the school bus and I did not make eye contact with anyone who looked at me. Like, I was holding my bag, my not so obvious Valentine's bag. I had my headphones on, like always, because I always have my headphones all the time where I go, listening to lo-fi music or whatever. I took a seat, face glued on my phone, and I looked nowhere else. Absolutely nowhere else but my phone. Eyes stuck to my screen, and I forget about everyone and everything that's going on around me inside the bus. On my way to school, of course. A few minutes later, we arrive at school, and I take my not so obvious Valentine's bag with me, and that's when I realize, I forgot to bring the flowers. Too late for that. I enter the school, I open the doors, and I walk straight to one of the classes that me and Alexa shared. And I enter the room, and I look around, I see the teacher, and I say, "Good morning, teacher." And I look around again to make sure that nobody else is in the room, aside from the teacher. I close the door behind me and go straight to the teacher's desk, and I ask them if they could help me keep something for me, which obviously was my not so obvious Valentine's bag. And the teacher was actually pretty cool about it, and they asked me who it was for, and I said, It's for Alexa. I've had a crush on her for a while, and I thought I'd make her happy with these gifts on Valentine's Day. And the teacher was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And they agreed to keep it until last period, which is like the last class of the day, because that's when me and Alexa share the same class together. So I hand it back to the teacher and I thank them. Then I leave the room to go to my first morning class. I feel relieved. I managed to bring this bag of gifts to school without anyone questioning me. Everything was going as planned. And a few hours later, it was finally time for me to rush first to my last class. I hurried and scanned around to see if Alexa was nearby, because I didn't want her to know, since this was supposed to be done anonymously. By the way, I did not mention that before. So I arrived at my last class. I scan around, I look around, I don't see her or anyone else in the classroom yet, aside from the teacher, of course. I go to the teacher's desk and I ask for the bag. I'm like, "Do you have the stuff? Do you have the good stuff?" And they're like, yeah, I have the stuff. They hand me the bag and I go to the place. I go to place it on her individual chair, because we were distant in this specific class. So I place it there and I hurry back to my seat, and I'm like, nothing ever happened. So I'm just like back to my seat, like nothing ever happened, and I just sit there and wait. A few students start to enter the room after a while, and I finally see her come in. And I don't say a word other than "hi," and that's it. And as she was heading over to her seat, I was stuck on my phone, by the way. I did not want to be obvious, so I just listened to whatever was happening. I was not looking around, like looking at her getting the bag. So I was just like this, pretty much like this, face against my desk. She heads over to her seat, and I hear her ask the teacher if someone had forgotten or left the bag on her seat by accident. And the teacher, who of course knew, played it off and pretended to not know. They said something like, "Well, I don't know. If it's on your desk, then it's probably for you." And I hear Alexa, who sounded like confused and was trying to like figure out what was going on. And the teacher says, "Well, I won't tell you who sent this, so try checking if there is a note inside the bag or something." I don't know. The teacher was actually pretty cool about it. I'm still very, very grateful for them doing that for me. Then I hear Alexa shuffling inside the bag, like rustling, looking around. And then it goes silent for a minute. Then the teacher asks, "Hey, did you find the note?" And she answers, "Yes, it's for me." And I'm there in the back corner seat, ignoring everything that was happening, but at the same time not ignoring what was happening, of course, because we all knew that inside of me, it was flower land. It was all flowers, blue sky, the sunshine. My heart was fluttering, blah blah blah, you know how young people feel when they catch love. I was just so happy. I was just happy to give all those gifts to this one girl I've had a crush on for a while, and it just felt right. Now I remember that I did this without expecting an answer, since this was supposed to be anonymous. So yeah. So I never got an answer, but that was probably my most romantic gesture that I've ever done up to that point in my entire life. I did tell her at the end, though, at the end of the year, because I didn't want to let it end like that. So I ended up telling Alexa how I felt, how I was the one who bought her gifts, and I told her how I felt about her and all that jazz. Not gonna say how I did it. I'm not gonna tell you all the details. That's up to you to guess how I brought this up to her, basically. It took a lot of effort. I was very nervous. And she was actually pretty sweet about it. She was actually like, She took it like very maturely, and she thanked me for all the gifts, for everything I did, and she also explained how she didn't really feel the same way. She wasn't ready for romantic relationships at the time, and that she had more important goals she wanted to pursue after graduation, so she had no interest in dating in general, unfortunately. She was a very smart student too, like she got a scholarship and everything, so I understood that, and I respected her decision. We wished the best to each other, and we said our goodbyes, and that's pretty much how it ended. Yeah, who knows, maybe in different circumstances we could have clicked, we could have been a thing, but not everything goes the way we always want in life, and that's just how it is. It shall live on in my memories, and hopefully it taught me something new about love. And that's how the story of how younger me confessed to a girl on Valentine's Day ends. I say younger me like this happened years ago. What? No, I'm not that old. Anyways, I hope you found my story interesting, comforting, sad, and or happy in any way, shape, or form, and I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. If you are in a relationship with a significant one, spend your time wisely and enjoy each other's company while you still can, because you never know what tomorrow has in store for you. And to all my fellow single soldiers out there, don't worry, you'll find it. Just take care of yourself, okay? Soon or later, I'm sure you will find the one. And if you do have someone in mind, then hey, take notes from high school me, get to know them enough first, and when you have enough info on them, you'll have a green light to go for it. And as I always say, stay tuned, be piano. And I'll see you in the next video. This is Catpino logging out. Happy Valentine's Day. Alright, I'll go cry now. Wow!